Okay, one of the messages we want to get across to you today is about the importance of choosing a safe car. And an expert that we've got at the RAA, he's been at the RAA more than 30 years, is Mark Borlase. So can you please welcome Mark Borlase?
Thanks, Ben. Most of you guys soon will enter the world of motoring and be buying or sharing cars. And what we really want to do today is just give you a little bit of an insight what makes a safe car, and when you're out there buying it, or if your parents are putting in some money, making sure that you make some smart choices, mainly about used cars that you'll be buying. But the technology we're going to explain here today is about how cars are tested and why a safe car is a safe car. You can see on the screen the test facilities that we use to crash test the vehicles. They're very expensive facilities. They're a couple of 100 metres long where we run the vehicles down. We have crash test dummies, which are very expensive and very intricate measuring systems for making sure that all the data is acquired. They are calibrated, and each of these dummies doesn't look very nice, but they're just making sure the sensors are working. Each of these dummies are then put into the vehicles through the crash tests, and we take the data from them. They are very expensive. They're about $200,000 each of those crash test dummies. Even the child ones are about $160,000. So we do 3 tests. We do a frontal offset test, which is where we crash the car with 40% of the car running into a block to simulate it hitting another car of the same size almost head on, which is a very common accident. We run them down at 64 kilometres an hour into this concrete block with a deformable barrier on the front of it, and it's quite a severe test. The next test that we do is the side impact test, which is the next most common accident, and we run a weighted slide into the side of the vehicle, and again it simulates being struck from the side by another vehicle in a very typical accident. And the most severe test we do for pedestrians are the leg and head form tests. So here we have pieces that are designed to simulate thighs hitting the car and the head of an adult and a child hitting the car. And again, although it looks like a ball, it's got very, very sophisticated measuring systems inside of them. And the pole impact test, which is a common country accident, people sliding sideways into trees, is a very severe test. And we put them through that at 29 kilometres an hour, and as you can see, the side airbag deploys there. Now, these airbags and these tests take about 150 milliseconds to do most of the damage. Now, to give you an idea what that means, a blink is about 100 milliseconds, so the whole event's over in just over the length of a blink. So what does a bad car crash look like? This is a Proton Ute that was one of our lowest scoring vehicles, and as you can see, when the car crashes, all of that energy is absorbed by all different parts of the vehicle, so that the survivable space, the cabin where you guys will be, is deformed. That's where you saw today the lady had her feet trapped in the well of the car. That's the sort of damage and accidents that accidents of this type cause. Obviously, the doors come ajar, so people can be chucked out onto the road and into even more peril. And you'll see here, in the absence of an airbag, the dummies strike the steering hub and other hard bits in the vehicle, and that's where a lot of facial and head trauma injuries occur. So when you're looking for a car, you don't want a 1 or 2 star car, those very poor performers. What you want is a very good performer, like a 5-star car. Now, you'll see this car, all of the energy is being managed at the front of the car. The whole cabin where the people are has been kept intact. The doors have stayed intact so that the rescue crews can open them rather than have to use the jaws of life they had to do this morning. And you've got an airbag system there that has very good head capture. It captures the head right in the middle of the bag, slows it down so that you don't have those sort of soft tissue brain injuries that can happen when you strike something. So that's, in reality, that's the difference between a poor car and a well-performing car. all the crash energy is managed up the front of the vehicle, so all the survivable space in the area that you are is preserved. So what we're going to do now is that's what a car does to protect you in an accident. We're about to have come out with, in a minute, they'll come out with a vehicle, a Volvo XC60, which has the new technology. It's called autonomous emergency braking. And these vehicles, you'll see more of them. They're in the more expensive vehicles now, but if you've got parents that are in the market to buy a car, they are the sort of technologies that you want to encourage them to buy. So this autonomous braking, when they bring it out, will show you how cars now are starting to actually do some of your thinking for you. An example of this is when you, if you haven't intervened, then the braking system will sense via radars and sense that you're likely to strike a car or an object, and it will brake automatically for you without you doing anything. So if I can get them to bring the Volvo and the car out, that'd be great. We've got Dave is in the XC60, cue the blow-up Volkswagen. So what I'll do is I'll just get Dave. So Dave's actually going to accelerate towards the car, take his feet off the pedals and do nothing, and the car will look after itself. So Dave, he'll just reverse back again. So if you were watching it here, again, watch the feet, but you'll see that the car has made all the decisions for him. Now, this is a technology that's evolving. It'll even start to pick up pedestrians, and same thing, if it sees a pedestrian, it'll stop if you haven't done anything, and later animals or bikes and things like that. You want to do a second run, Dave? Thank you. Again, he's doing nothing. That's it. So, as I say, it's a technology that you might not be able to get in your first car, but certainly when you get home tonight, talk to Mum and Dad. I'd just like to give Dave a bit of a hand. Thanks, Dave. So I hope you found that interesting about the new technologies that are coming into vehicles, and don't forget to tell your parents when you get home that there are cars that will brake by themselves. Thank you.